Ever since I was small, there were signs that I wasn't the normal kiddo that everyone prescribed me to be. In fact, I turned out to be a girl. Growing up, whether it had been from my autism or my gender identity, I truly was an alien to most people. I was so disconnected from others in my class that when I had a birthday party, I had a bag of soccer balls so that everyone could play outside while I stayed in my room drawing cute cats for the entire afternoon. I always knew deep down that I was a girl, but this phenomenon was so alien. Nobody spoke of such thing. That of course until the internet became my home. As it turns out, this thing I was experiencing all my life was called being transgender. And I could be a girl if I wanted. Wow! Because I've lived as a recluse most of my life, I'm lucky enough to not have gone through many societal pressures, all things considered. Challenging things like restrooms were never really an issue because I grew up with a mom that prohibited me from ever going to the men's restroom alone and could only go to the women's with her. As I got older, I believed I was expected to go to the men's restroom on my own, but most of the time, I would make every guy in there look at me in horror, run outside to check that they didn't accidentally walk into the wrong restroom, breathe a sigh of relief, and then kindly redirected me to the women's restroom. It's such a Looney Tunes scene that played every single time. This was as I was getting comfortable presenting more feminine. Once I felt entirely comfortable, I went back to wearing hoodies and sweatpants. It's just more comfy. Once I accepted my gender identity and was happy sharing it, I naturally came across hormone replacement therapy, or HRT for short, which some try to picture as this terrifying thing with extreme effects and no backsies. But in reality, it's just a tiny supplement that tells your brain, "Hey there, Model of Pau. I know that the hormone factory has been developing triangle-shaped hormones until now, but I know that all the way in the back of your head you have the blueprint for awesome, new, cool, circle-shaped hormones. So let's start making those instead." And the brain just goes, "Well, I guess we're doing circles now." And your body very slowly shapes up to become the most productive circle factory it can be. And if one day you don't want circles anymore, you can just stop making them and your body will go right back to making triangles. I have no idea why this is horrifying to some people. When I came out to my family, it took them some time to come around. Eventually, I convinced them to take me to a doctor so I could be evaluated and hopefully start HRT. But the clinic told me I was too young to start HRT. I'd have to wait until I was at least 18 as they wanted me to be sure about it. That sucked because years later I was clearly very sure about it. When I was 17, feeling like I was drowning in hopelessness and convinced I never get to be myself, I decided to try another clinic. They examined me, took my blood, went through all the procedures, and then told me, "You're too depressed to start HRT." Of course I was depressed. I felt like there was no hope I'd ever get access to something that could actually save my life. Eventually, they put me on a waiting list. But in the end, I finally got access to HRT. Later on, I found out from other trans folks that those clinics are notoriously bad. Horror stories all around. So I guess that explains a lot. What really breaks my heart though is that some people regret supporting my access to HRT. Some thought it would be a magic fix, that I'd just bloom into happiness and fly away. But the truth is, I have chronic depression, I'm disabled, I'm a shut-in, and even though I'm finally comfortable in my body, that doesn't make everything sunshine and rainbows. It got especially bad a couple of years ago when I went through a major crisis, and some people even partially blamed HRT for it. Looking back now that I'm in a better place, I can say with confidence, that was I've really come a long way. These days, I got my HRT from online distributors and I manage my own dosages. Sometimes I daydream about driving across the border with a trunk full of HRT to share with everyone who needs it. But that's probably illegal and really scary, and no one trusts me to drive anyway. If you've seen my videos, you might have noticed a trans flag in the background. It's brought in a lot of hate and harassment online, and honestly, I know I could take it down and probably have an easier time on YouTube, but I choose to keep it because it's a part of who I am. I also hope that by keeping it there, it shows others that this little virtual space where I share bedtime stories is a safe place for all trans sleepyheads out there. All in all, being a trans girl makes me so happy. It lets me live such a unique joy that not all people get to experience. Really, I wouldn't change it for the world. Thanks for watching, sleepyheads. As always, take care, stay cozy, and good nighty.